It's one of the very exciting parts of the Santa Clara Valley Habitat Conservation Plan is that it really protects the environment, but it also allows the streamlining of development if wildlife is protected. And it really saves local jurisdictions and developers untold amount of money and time because they're going to be able to get their projects approved all at the same time protecting the environment.
The Habitat Plan is a regional habitat plan. It's a partnership between 6 local agencies, includes the County of Santa Clara, the cities of Gilroy, Morgan Hill, and San Jose, and 2 other agencies, the Valley Transportation Authority and the Santa Clara Valley Water District. So it is a regional partnership between all of those agencies banding together and trying to develop a comprehensive regional plan to both look at development and capital improvement needs over the next 50 years. It's a paradigm shift. It stops this business as usual approach and instead moves to a planning approach. Principles of planning, of looking out over 50 years, where will growth happen, where are critical capital development, our capital improvement needs for the cities, the counties, and mapping those out, and in tandem looking out at the best areas where there are habitat and planning for their preservation. And so on both those ends, understanding how the cities and counties will do future development critical to the region and its growth, and mapping out where to preserve the most important habitat. It provides a framework in which both projects when they come along can be very streamlined in moving forward and not go through a very rough case-by-case approach, and instead of a patchwork or a quiltwork of different isolated habitat areas, the acquisition of land, the creation of mitigation lands is done in tandem in a broad framework of a regional landscape habitat system. I know in Northern California it's the largest multi-species, both plants and animals, habitat plan, at least in Northern California. In California it is one of the biggest plans and probably one of the bigger plans in the western U.S. So the idea is all these agencies that look collectively at the same thing, development that may affect sensitive habitat, be it wetlands or streams, together can look at the same thing in the same way. Rather than issuing permits and living in different silos, we can agree on a streamlined approach where there's a broader good, where land is set aside and preserved, and each of the agency's needs is taken care of.
We manage over 50,000 acres of land open to recreation for the public. And as part of that, our mission is to preserve and protect and enhance these lands as well as allow them to be open to the public and public accessible. So we wanted to be involved with the Habitat Plan from the beginning to make sure that regional park lands are open to the public. And since we do manage lands that are critical habitat for a lot of the species that are already covered. So like a park like we're in right now at the Harvey Bear Ranch is 4,500 acres of parkland. On the regional approach, you're looking at managing for the species beyond these park boundaries, and you're looking for wildlife corridors and connectivity so the species have a better chance to survive. One of the challenges as a regional parks agency is to manage these lands in perpetuity when you're looking at 4,500 acres in these little isolated populations. With a regional approach and a combined approach with other agencies and a reserve system, then we can manage the habitat on a broader scale to allow for species survival and for long-term benefits to the species so that future generations can enjoy what we enjoy now in these open space properties. Specific to the habitat plan, we're looking at about 20 species that are focused in the plan. And those species like tiger salmon or California tiger salmon or California red-legged frog, serpentine species of plant species as well as butterfly, the bay checker spot butterfly are all part of the habitat plan. But that next step of having the habitat plan to preserve these areas, link these areas for populations to thrive and be around for future generations is just a wonderful thing for not only us now, but our grandkids and our future generations in this county.
Santa Clara County appreciates the award for preserving and protecting the environment. I'm hoping that other jurisdictions really begin to understand how far-reaching the Habitat Conservation Plan here is in Santa Clara County. It protects 47,000 acres over the next 50 years.